Good afternoon, hello and welcome. My name is Sussex Sandra and today I am with you with another foundation review. So just to go through the basics, my name is Sandra, hello and welcome. I am a woman of a certain age group. I am over 45, but I have extremely oily skin. Very oily skin, hyperpigmentation and blemishes. What I like to do is just to find foundations, high end and low end, drugstore and everything in between, that can cover up my complexion concerns and also last. So I do reviews on all sorts of foundations and I look at other makeup products as well and then see how we get along. So today the foundation I am testing out today is by Superdrug. So this is a drugstore, high street store found on many of the UK's high streets, and it is one of their own brands called B, and I am testing today their foundation called the Flawless Matte Foundation. So this foundation comes in something like 11 or 12 shades, so it's a decent amount of shades for our high street. The normal price is £9.99, but it is currently on sale for £6.66, so that's a really good price. The quantity is 30 millilitres, so 1 fluid ounce, and they've got a fairly decentish range of fair, light, medium, tan, dark and deep. So they've kind of gone through all these shades. I don't know what their undertones are like, so we will find out today. And yeah, let's go ahead and do this. So for my oily skin, what I normally do, I do quite a few oily skin hacks because I have got oily skin. I know some people say they've got oily skin and they just might break out in a little bit of oil on their foreheads and their nose and chins and whatever. I don't. I have got proper oily skin and I tend to break out in oil within a couple of hours, 2 hours of cleansing my skin. When I do my testing of foundations, I like to wear them for at least 6-7 hours at least if I can. Minimum 4 hours, but I do try to go for 7 hours if I can. I don't normally blot during the day because I like to see how the foundation performs. If I can do a halfway point update, I will, and then I will blot afterwards. So what tends to happen is that by the time I come back to you later in the day, my skin, depending on the foundation, can be either slightly oily or a complete utter mess. And that's what we're going to be testing out today. So let's do this. I've already primed my skin, so the primers, I tend to do a double priming system. So I put on a more moisturising primer first all over my face, then I put my mattifying primer on second. And the mattifying primer that I use, which is my holy grail primer, is the Becca Evermatte Poreless Primer. And I put that in my T-zone areas and upper cheek areas here and along my temple. So just this area of my face, that's where I tend to really get very oily, and that will hold back the oil for quite a bit as well. So I also set my primer with a layer of translucent setting powder, so that's my second oily skin barrier. So I'm going to do that now and I'll come back and apply the foundation for you. Okay, so that's done. So what I'm going to do now, I am going to apply half my face with a sponge, a blending sponge, and the other half of my face with a brush. So let's do that now, shall we? Okay, the shade I have the foundation is in, the shade is C9, so it's on that little colour swatch at the bottom of the tube. So let's do this. It's interesting, on the packaging it actually says pump me slowly, so I don't know if I should be worried or not. It says on the back of the tube, create a natural look with B Flawless Matte Foundation, non-oily, long-lasting, medium coverage foundation with a lightweight feel, dermatological, I can't say the word, you know what I mean, approved. For best results, apply after your preferred B primer. Blend from the centre of your nose outwards to help conceal imperfections for a smooth finish. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to use a sponge first, so just using my beauty blender. I'm a bit scared now that it's said to pump slowly. I'm a bit scared. Right, let's remove this seal. Okay, so it's got a nice little pump, so that's good. time today. My arm's hurting. Oh, here we go. God, what a crap pump. Oh my gosh. My finger is hurting. Okay. Switching to my thumb now. I'm not joking. This is the stupidest pump ever. I can't get the product out. Right. It's taken me about 5 minutes just to get that out. So this better go far. Okay, so I've done the equivalent of, I would say, 1 pump on the sponge, and that's just kind of given me a very light, very sheer coverage on my face. If you haven't got blemished skin, this would be fine, but I've got blemished skin and I'm now dreading just trying to get more product out because that took forever. So bear with me, I'm going to try and get some more product out of this thing, but it's already putting me in a bad mood. Pump side, and that's 2 pumps. Let me bring you in a bit closer so you can see. Okay, I'm now going to use the brush on this side. Okay, so I blended it much easier and quicker with the brush side, and again I prefer using the brush with this product. So I'm going to continue. I'm just going to put 1 more pump, if I can get it out, all over my face, then that will be it. The colour is fine. Again, my luck with drugstore foundations, and the colour seems to be continuing. Colour's fine, it will do for me. I don't mind this colour at all. So I'm just going to put a little bit more on my brush and then we'll call it a day. So it's coming out all right now, look at that. So yeah, just allow yourself 5 to 10 minutes of just trying to get the product out of the pump for the first use, and then after that it seems to work okay. Okay, right, that looks all right. It's applied very easily. It's a nice consistency, so it's a thickish, creamy kind of coverage. It's giving me medium to full coverage, which is exactly what I want. I'm happy with the coverage, so that's all good. Let me show you the time. I'm starting late today, because I'm not going to be back until fairly late this evening. So the time now is 10 to 1. So we're looking at about 7 to 8 hours again of wear. So I'll come back to you later on this evening, probably be about 8:30, 9 o'clock when I come back to you, and I can give you my final thoughts of the foundation. Very simple look again today, because I'm only going to work. So I'm just going to finish my look and then I'll come back to you in a minute. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, so full face is done now, just a simple look for work. So yeah, I will come back to you at the end of the day and I'll be using my TOPS system of doing a review. My TOPS stands for transfer, oil control, performance, price and shade selection. So we'll find out later on what my final thoughts are on my first impression and wear test of this foundation. But so far it's looking all right. It's dried down beautifully, it's applied easily, looking good. Promising. See you later. Bye. Okay, so yeah, it's just 7:30 exactly now. Good evening and welcome. So I'm back to give my final thoughts on the foundation I was reviewing today, testing out today, and the foundation I was testing was the Superdrug B foundation. So it's a matte foundation. from Superdrug. Currently costs £6.66. It seems to be reduced from £9.99, which is all good. Comes in 12 shades and it is for oily skin, or it gives matte coverage. Medium to full coverage is what they're claiming that it does. When I applied the foundation this morning, number one, it took bloody ages for the product to actually come out of the pump. I must have been pressing for at least a good 5 minutes like this. And then I had to go like this because this was getting hurt. It was hurting so much. So yeah, they need to sort that pump out. But once the product started to come out, it was actually okay. It took about 2 pumps, I will say, 2 good pumps to cover my whole face. Call it 2 to 3 pumps to cover my whole face and to the coverage that I need. I have got hyperpigmentation and quite a few blemishes, so I do tend to put on quite a bit of product on my face just to cover up all these bleh on my face. This took, I'd say, a little bit less than some of the other products I have to use where I need to pump a lot more just to get the coverage I need. I liked the coverage. The coverage was good. It gave me a nice matte finish. It dries very quickly on application, so I would suggest, again, depends on you and your technique of application, but I would suggest, if you're using this, just to put it on in sections rather than just dot your whole face and then blend or dab or however you put it. Just apply it in sections because it does dry quite quickly. So let me just go through my actual review now. So when I do my review, I use my system called TOPS. So the T stands for transfer, whether the foundation transfer at all onto my hands, onto paper, onto my protective clothing that I wear during the day. The O stands for oil control. So does it control my oil? And when the oil starts to break through, at what point did it break through? Was it an hour? Was it 2 hours? Was it 4 hours? I like foundations to last for at least 4 hours before the oil starts breaking through. The first P stands for performance, so does the foundation melt, fade or separate? The second P stands for price, so what is the price? Is it good value for what it is and the bracket that it's marketing itself in? And the S stands for shade selection. What is the shade selection available, and is it a good shade selection available? So let's do this, shall we? So when I do the transfer, I also do the oil as well, and I use my trusted blotting sheets. And I always say this, good foundations will use, I'd say, two and a bit sheets of these. Poor performing foundations for my oily skin, they use 4 to 5 sheets. One of the followers on my video, my last video which I did yesterday, which was the NARS Radiant Longwear Foundation, sort of commented, why don't you blot during the day? Which, no, fair question. The reason why I don't blot during the day is only when I am testing foundations. If I'm testing a foundation, I don't blot. I want to see how that foundation performs throughout the day without me blotting. But on a normal day, girl, trust me, I'm blotting because I don't like to see oil on my face at all. But on a testing day, I don't. The only time I do blot during the day is if I am going to be doing a presentation, or I'm going to be standing and talking in front of people, or if I'm going into a meeting which is fairly important, then I will blot. So today I did blot, and I blotted about 4 or 5 hours after wearing it, and it was just before I was going into a team meeting. So I did blot my face before going into the meeting. I didn't blot a proper full blot using blotting sheets. I just got a bit of tissue and just dabbed around my nose area, and that was it. So I didn't do a full blot. So I'm going to be taking that into consideration when I'm talking about the oil control. So let's do this. Sheet 1. Right, so I used 2 and a bit sheets. So sheet 1, sheet 2 and a little bit of sheet 3. And I must say, this is a very good performing foundation. Let's take into consideration that I did do a bit of blotting during the day, so I did that about 2 and a bit hours ago. Ooh, yeah, I think this is a really good performing foundation. When I did the blot earlier on, it was mainly oil that showed up on the tissue, just a little bit of brown I saw on the tissue, but not much. And there was hardly any transfer of foundation on this sheet as well, hardly any foundation at all. I actually think this is a This is actually really good. So I think for transfer, I am actually going to say for transfer, I'm going to give this, this is really good. I think I'm going to give this 10 because I think this is one of the best performing when it comes to transfer I've ever had. If I'm comparing it to the NARS foundation, have I still got that down here? No, I haven't. I brought it back upstairs. If I compare it to the NARS Radiant foundation, which says it's transfer resistant, this had less foundation on it than that did. So yeah, I'm giving this a 10 for transfer. For oil control, it was pretty good. There was some oil, as I said, on my face yesterday. There was some oil on my face, and there is oil again now. So it's 2 and a bit sheets. So I think, you know, it's probably about 3 sheets worth of oil I've had on my face today. So I think for oil control, I am going to give this a 9.75 because that's it's good. It is good. Performance, right, packaging I ain't that fond of because of that pump. So that, I don't know if that comes into performance or not, but I'm putting the whole thing in there because that pump really annoyed me this morning. Application was good. Just remember that it dries very quickly and it blended out very easily as well. I don't think I needed as much product as some of the other foundations I've used. So again, I think you can get away with less product to give the results you need. The foundation hasn't really melted or faded or separated. Let's have a quick look before I say that. Okay, gentle fading, little bit of separation up here. I don't know if you can see that. Let me bring you in. Okay, so can you see that? So a little bit of fading and melting up here, and sort of general fading across my forehead up here. Around my cheeks, yes, there's some fading again around here on my face. General wear and tear. Yep, same again on here. Seems to be a little bit blotchy just along here. So more fading along this section here rather than along here. Around my nose and under my glasses. Yeah, the usual, just fading under my glasses. Okay, so I'd say a little bit of separation up here. Fair amount of fading. So I think for performance, let's bring it back out again. Wow. Okay, so for performance, I'm going to say 8 out of 10, which is, again, it's not bad at all. For price, well, it's £6.66. Hello, that's a 10, that's an easy 10. And for shade selection, now there's 12 shades in the range, and it looks like they've got a decent amount of colours in each bracket. So I'd say they've got like a good solid deep shades there. There's a shade, I think it's 2 shades darker than mine. And then you start, after my shade, you go into sort of tans, and I think there was about 2 shades in the sort of tan shades. Then there was a medium, then there's light, and there's fair. So they kind of covered the spectrum when it comes to shade range. So I think that's pretty good for a high street brand. The undertone here, yeah, it's a little bit warm, but you know, I can get away with it. I don't know what the undertone is like of the deeper skin tone. It looks very dark to me, it looks very warm. So I knew there was no way I could use that at all. I didn't really look at the lighter shades to see what their undertones were like, so you'd probably have to tell me if you've tried the foundation out. But I think, you know, 12 shades and it kind of covers all the spectrum. I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to give that a 9.5 for a high street, because it is a high street foundation. So I'm going to give that a 9 out of 10 for a high street foundation. I think 12 shades is pretty good. But let me know what you think. I actually quite like this foundation. It's something I can easily use, quickly put on. It doesn't take a lot of blending and time to put on, and I like that, especially if you want to do something really quickly. If I want a more fuller coverage, this is the one I would use. It felt light, it felt comfortable. Don't know how it would feel in the summer. It didn't feel as light as the it didn't feel as light as the Radiant foundation, NARS Radiant, or the Bobbi Brown. It felt heavier than that. I could feel it on my face, but it still didn't feel heavy and cakey like, you know, the Estee Lauder Double Wear or the Kat Von D. Those feel heavy when you put those on, and you know you've got a big on foundation when you put those ones on. So it's not as light as the Bobbi Brown and the NARS, but it's not as heavy as the others. It's right in the middle. So I think overall it's a nice foundation for every day. Whether I'd wear it in the summer or not, I don't know. This is a foundation that I could definitely wear in the winter. It will take me through late autumn, winter, and probably early spring. More than happy with that. So yeah, pleased with that. It's all good. But let me know what you think. And let me know down below as well. Please be polite. Don't have a go at me. I'm doing my best. I'm not a makeup artist, so I will make mistakes. So please allow me those little mistakes I do make. Before I go, again, just want to remind you about my subscriber giveaway. Right, so I'm going for that 500 subscribers, and what I'm going to be giving away is a makeup brush set. So I know it seems like a long time ago now, but please tell me, what did you want for Christmas when it comes to beauty and makeup? And did you get what you want for Christmas? If you didn't get what you want, what did you get? Did you like it? Just let me know what you got, okay? And share it with the others as well. Give us a giggle, make us have a laugh. Okay, so that's my subscriber giveaway, but you've got to be a subscriber, so there's no point in telling me what you got for Christmas if you're not a subscriber, okay? I'll be randomly picking out the winner of that. I'll probably get my 5-year-old niece to do that, and she'll pick it out. I'll put all the names in a hat and I'll make her pick it out, and then I will let the winner know by Instagram. So please make sure that you have got an Instagram account, because I do like to let the winner know by Instagram if I can, in a private message. If you haven't got an Instagram account and you're the winner, I will be trying to get hold of you by your Google account email. So please make sure you verify your account as well if you're not on Instagram. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon. Oh, and don't forget to give me a like if you enjoyed this video. It's really important that you do that, and you can support my little channel that way. Alright, take care, and I will see you soon. I've got another foundation coming up again, probably will be at the weekend, because I've got a few things going on this week, and I don't think I'm going to be in any fit state, because I'm going out to a leaving do. So I don't think I'll be in any fit state to be doing a video in 2 days time. So probably at the weekend I'll be doing another foundation review, and I might be doing an unboxing as well. Otherwise, I will see you soon. So take care.